Vegeta, who now always surprises us with a new form, whether derived from his own transformations, like the Super Saiyan Blue evolution, or his Ultra Ego form, learned these transformations without appearing between the lines. Therefore, we will indeed have an evolution of the Ultra Ego, since they won't make something repetitive with his previous form, which is Blue evolution. They will combine it with his Super Saiyan form. Want to understand more? Then come with me. Speaking of combining, you could combine your powers and join us by subscribing to the channel, leaving a like, and activating the bell. Also, share this insane video with your friends. Vegeta has gone through several impressive transformations in recent years, with his most notable highlights being in Dragon Ball Super, where he achieved forms like Super Saiyan Blue evolution, an enhanced version of Super Saiyan Blue, and also developed Ultra Ego, a unique technique that reflects his proud warrior nature. This last transformation is particularly interesting because it differs from Goku's Ultra Instinct, focusing more on brute strength and Vegeta'S determination, a relentless spirit for a proud being to work on, continuing his journey to surpass his own limits, always seeking new ways to become stronger, especially after the recent events where he witnessed Frieza's power in his latest black form, Gohan's current beast transformation, and, on top of that, saw Broly starting to understand and master his powers, along with Goku and his natural instinct. Remember that the previous trigger for the Super Saiyan Blue evolution was when Goku had been using Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken for a while Vegeta remained stagnant in Super Saiyan Blue, needing a fight against Top to evolve his blue form and match Goku's Blue Kaioken. Now he's at an impasse. After seeing Frieza recently and losing with a single blow, it's time for him to evolve to the next stage of Ultra Ego. He could follow this path by further evolving the blue form, which, in my view, was heading towards a Super Saiyan level 3 of the blue form. After all, Vegeta'S Super Saiyan Blue evolution has some visual similarities with Super Saiyan 2, mainly in the hair shape. Upon reaching this transformation, his hair becomes more erect and gains extra volume, similar to what happens when he is in Super Saiyan 2. Additionally, the electricity around his body also resembles the intense aura of that form. The main difference is the vibrant blue color and the significant power increase, as this evolution is an enhanced version of Super Saiyan Blue. It reflects Vegeta'S aggressive fighting style and determination to surpass his own limits, without precisely following Goku's steps. This could lead to a third form, matching the original Super Saiyan transformations, but they decided to give him a new form, as he has always been considered a potential god of destruction of Universe 7. This would put him in that state, like Top during the Tournament of Power, but he kind of gained the Super Saiyan 3 form in this new Ultra Ego phase, especially the eyebrows, which are exactly the same. Ultra Ego and Super Saiyan 3 have more visual similarities and significant differences at the same time. The most noticeable similarity is the longer and more voluminous hair. In Vegeta'S Super Saiyan 3, the hair grows significantly, while in Ultra Ego, it maintains Vegeta'S classic style, but becomes more spiked and gains a wilder look. Additionally, Vegeta'S facial expression in Ultra Ego reflects a more aggressive and confident attitude, something akin to the imposing presence of Super Saiyan 3, as seen in Dragon Ball Daima. On the other hand, the biggest difference lies in the concept of the form. Ultra Ego is inspired by the gods of destruction and grows stronger by taking hits, something that Super Saiyan 3 does not do. Super Saiyan 3 is more of an evolution of the traditional Super Saiyan state, focused on pure energy release, while Ultra Ego is a technique centered on battle instinct and Vegeta'S pride. Therefore, he could move towards a Super Saiyan 3 Ultra Ego as a fast and explosive power source, even though it consumes energy, but releases a maximum amount for some time. Super Saiyan 3 is an extremely powerful form, but comes with a high cost in terms of energy consumption. Unlike other Super Saiyan forms, this transformation requires an absurd amount of ki to maintain, causing the user to lose stamina quickly. That's why Goku always mentions that this form is not the most efficient for prolonged battles since it drains energy too fast. In terms of power, it easily surpasses Super Saiyan 2, providing speed, strength, and much more destructive attacks. However, since it consumes so much ki, if the user does not have absolute energy control, they end up exhausting themselves in a short time. This is one of the reasons why Vegeta never explored this form in Dragon Ball Super, only in Dragon Ball Daima, opting instead for transformations like Super Saiyan Blue, which offer a better balance between strength and energy consumption. Comparing it to Super Saiyan 3, which has enormous energy expenditure. More modern forms like Blue and Ultra Instinct are much more sustainable in combat. Vegeta achieved his Ultra Ego as a result of his training with Beerus, the god of destruction, something they should address for us to understand how this training works, which was left out, as well as Topps in a possible saga in his universe, showing how his training to become the next god of destruction is going. It would also give more focus and control to Vegeta, who is still just considered a candidate, while Top has already been chosen and declared a successor. This interaction between the two would be interesting, emphasizing a saga like this: Goku and Jiren, Vegeta and Top. Unlike Goku, who focused on Ultra Instinct, Vegeta took a more brutal path, fully embracing his warrior nature and battle thirst. He already has that well-defined Saiyan pride in his character, while Goku needed to see the scouter with his father Bardock's feats to understand that pride. Of course, there's also the story told by Monito during the Granola saga about Bardock protecting him and Granola. Ultra Ego is a form that grows stronger the more damage the user takes, making Vegeta even more resilient and dangerous in combat. He does not seek to dodge or flow with the fight like Ultra Instinct, but rather dive headfirst into combat, absorbing blows and retaliating with full force. His Saiyan pride reaches an unprecedented level, as he does not deny his flaws, nor tries to follow a path different from his own battle instinct. And this suits him well. Now, imagining an evolution to this state, a possible Super Saiyan Ultra Ego Phase 3 would be a version that incorporates the classic principles of Super Saiyan, but with a refined destructive instinct balanced with stable divine energy. Instead of consuming energy inefficiently, like the traditional Super Saiyan 3, this form could channel energy more balancedly, perhaps adopting characteristics of the Hakaishin, allowing Vegeta to keep fighting without losing so much stamina. Visually, we could see even wilder hair, perhaps with a mix of Ultra Ego's characteristic purple and the traditional Super Saiyan golden aura, reflecting a harmony between destruction and the natural Saiyan instinct. Vegeta fights to break his opponent's spirit, so this is something like what Majin Buu used to do, but indirectly. Therefore, while he accesses the third form, he won't lose energy as long as he remains in battle. This transformation would also work as a direct parallel to what Goku did with Ultra Instinct. Just as Goku needed to let go of his obsession with control to master true Ultra Instinct, Vegeta would need to accept not just the desire to become stronger, but also to deeply understand what it means to be a Saiyan in his entirety. Not just fighting for pride or revenge, but for the pleasure of battle and the constant quest for growth. With this, he could shape Ultra Ego into something more complete, blending instinct and reason in a unique way. Instead of just increasing power when taking damage, Vegeta could channel that energy offensively instantly, without needing to take hits to grow stronger. It would be amazing to see a form that truly puts Vegeta on a level equivalent to Goku's final state, while maintaining each one's individuality. While Goku becomes an almost divine and untouchable entity with Ultra Instinct, Vegeta could transform into a true god of war, an unstoppable force that advances without hesitation, with power that feeds on combat itself. This evolution would not only make his fighting more efficient, but would also make it clear that he doesn't need to copy Goku to evolve, as he has his own path and identity as a warrior. It would be a revolution in the concept of fighting, because Vegeta could finally reach a state where his energy stabilizes at a divine level without losing his fierce essence. Now, imagine an epic battle between Goku and Vegeta, both in their ultimate forms. Complete Ultra Instinct versus Ultra Ego Super Saiyan 3, each fighting in their own style, but reaching an absolute level of combat. This final duel would be the pinnacle of everything Dragon Ball has always built between the two, a clash between pure technique and pure brute force, but both reaching a level of perfection in their own fighting philosophies. Anyway, that would be awesome, but Vegeta still needs to learn how to channel Ultra Ego into a more offensive style, even without taking hits, just by breaking the opponent's spirit. Ultra Ego works differently from other forms Vegeta has achieved. Unlike Goku's Ultra Instinct, which prioritizes evasion and precision, Ultra Ego is based on pride, fury, and the desire for unrestricted combat. Vegeta, by fully accepting his nature as a warrior, enters a state where his strength grows as he takes hits, feeding his power with pain itself and turning that into an absolute advantage in battle. However, there is still a limitation. He relies on being hit to maximize his potential, which can be a disadvantage against opponents who attack with more subtle or lethal techniques. Now, if Vegeta could channel Ultra Ego in a more offensive way, without needing to take hits to increase his power, he would become a relentless combat machine. This being the ultimate goal of Ultra Ego Super Saiyan 3. Imagine that, instead of absorbing physical blows to grow in strength, he could break the opponent's spirit, destroying their determination and confidence in the fight. This would create a devastating effect, as many opponents, even physically strong ones, depend on their fighting mentality to maintain control. If Vegeta could use his presence and energy to crush the enemy's will before even exchanging blows, he would be fighting on a whole new level. Additionally, with the knowledge he now has about spirit separation, there is the possibility of turning this into a direct technique. Vegeta could create an attack where, when hitting the opponent, he not only causes physical damage, but also strikes their spiritual energy, destabilizing their ability to keep fighting. In a more extreme scenario, he could even steal part of the enemy's ki, temporarily absorbing it to increase his strength. This would make Ultra Ego Phase 3 possess a brutal ability, capable of attacking the opponent's essence beyond just the physical body. If he mastered and refined this technique, he could even face beings that depend on infinite endurance, like the angels. Could he actually do it, and defeat them not just with brute force, but by completely dismantling their ability to stand firm in battle? Just kidding, but opponents like Frieza, who are at their peak power for now, would take a huge hit, or even some Hakushin. This would make Vegeta an unbeatable fighter, as he would no longer need to prolong the fight to grow stronger, but instead shatter his opponents instantly, breaking their spiritual strength and destroying their ability to recover energy. This would open a new path for the evolution of Ultra Ego, with Phase 3 allowing Vegeta to become a warrior who not only masters destruction, but also manipulates ki and psychological pressure on the battlefield. If applied correctly, he could fight divine beings even more efficiently, becoming an unstoppable force. This would be the true ascension of Vegeta as the ultimate warrior, someone who not only fights with his pride, but also uses his mind as a weapon just as lethal as his blows. Now that would be a step beyond for him. That would be Vegeta Ultra Ego Super Saiyan Phase 3.